Alright guys, we're back for another week. Sorry we've missed a few weeks, but they just hadn't been a whole lot going on. We actually just heard about a cruise-in going on in downtown Dalton today. So we've had the Neiman Marcus Thunderbird has been hibernating all winter. It is a absolutely gorgeous day out here in March. It's supposed to be up in the 70s today, and so when we read about the cruise-in today, we decided, you know what? Let's get the Thunderbird out, bring her out of hibernation, clean her up a little bit, and let's take her down to a cruise-in today. So we'll show you what that entails. Stay tuned.
Roll with me, take you for a ride, just come and see. Take a look inside, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe, cruising through the sky, yeah, we feeling alright. Take a lead, throw a little smile, jumping in the seat. We gon' be here for a while, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe, cruising through the sky when I take you for a ride. Roll with me now, come hang around. Let's play pretend, go have a night on the town. Just lighten up, put on a smile. We live it up, just let me know if you're down.
Alright, first off guys, we do keep it on a trickle charger during the winter, just to help protect the battery and keep it all fresh and everything. I do use this C-Tech unit. Actually I learned about it because that's what Jay Leno uses on all his cars. And so it's a pretty nice little unit here, but you can see I've got it running in here, and yes, the battery for the Thunderbird is in the trunk. And so we'll get in here and we will take that off first of all before we go to start her up. And I've actually got it wired into my battery, but I do have a quick disconnect. And so this way, instead of having to get in here and unbolt everything or get down to the battery and all that, all I've got to do is just simply unplug it, and then I can actually just leave that laying right there in the trunk. I can actually tuck it back up and under there if I needed to, but it's as simple as that to hook and unhook whenever I need to. Just try not to let the inside touch the outside. Well, all you got to do is get it off that mirror. And there we go, guys. She don't look too bad for the winter. We got some dust in here, but most of that fell off at the actual car cover that we had on there, because again, we do our wood shop out here, and so a lot of that fell on there. So not too bad. We shined her up before we put her away, and so again, being stored all winter, she don't look too bad. Let's crank her up and pull her out, and then we'll give her a good shine, good wash, and then we'll take the top off. Alright guys, I'll show you real quick kind of what we use on the Thunderbird. We actually use this on all of our cars, including the camper, trailers, everything. I'm pretty old school. I like the best. And so this stuff may be more expensive than going down to your AutoZone or Walmart or whatever, getting your car washes. But again, I want the best for my cars. I don't like scratches. I want to protect everything the best I can with the waxes and everything else. So everything I use is Griots Garage. And you know, this is not sponsored by Griots. I buy all this stuff. Don't get a discount or anything. So, but this is what I will use. So obviously, I got my little creeper there to help do the wheels. We've got our different car washes. But what I love the best, and I'll show you this thing in action here in a few minutes, is this bad boy. If you don't have one of these and the pressure washer, you're missing out. This right here is a foam cannon. This is just like going to these car washes where you put your quarters in there and it suds up and foams up and you can spray your whole car with it. This is so you can do that at home. And I absolutely love this thing. If you keep your cars clean on a regular basis, Griots actually has a foaming car wash that will actually bring the dirt up off the car, and then you can rinse it off and it's gone. Sometimes you don't even have to touch the car with a rag to wash it off. Again, that's if you keep it clean all the time. If you see the truck here in the video behind us here in a little bit, you'll see that don't always happen with the truck, but it does happen with a car a lot. And so, but I've got different strengths there. You know, like when we had our camper up in LJ over the past year up there when we was building our barndominium, you know, it got pretty dirty under some of those trees and stuff. And so I've got a heavier duty wash that helps break that stuff up. So they've got basically a product for everything, and I just really enjoy using them. So that's what we're using. This right here is what I was talking about, going with the foam cannon over there. This is actually the first electric pressure washer I've ever owned. I used to have a gas powered one. I had one for years. It finally went out, and when I was wanting to do the foam cannon, I knew I had to have a pressure washer. So I bought this. I actually bought this from Griots Garage too. They have two different models up there, but this one is 2300 psi, all electric, and I love it. I ain't got to worry about gas and oil and anything else when you go out there. You just simply plug it in and you're ready to go. And so this thing is absolutely amazing to use with the foam cannon, just washing cars. You know, granted, if you're doing big jobs, you know, washing houses and decks and all that, and you got a big area, gas one still might be better, I don't know. But for what I use it for, I absolutely love this thing. Alright, you see right here in the sun, yes, she does have some dust on her. Again, that's mostly sawdust when we took the cover off. But overall, she ain't too bad. We're going to hook up the pressure washer, get the foam cannon after it, and we'll have her cleaned up here shortly. Alright guys, if you notice, we just gave it a good rinse off of there, just to kind of basically wash all the dust off of it, any loose particles, anything like that. The tip I am using is this tip. It's not a normal pressure washer tip. It's kind of an orbital tip. It kind of rotates in circles. And again, to me, that's just to be safe. You know, if you use a normal pressure washer is a real pinpoint or like a fan blade or whatever, and I never just want to get close enough to damage the paint like that. So this thing is constantly moving. So even if you was to accidentally get distracted or something, hold your pressure washer wand on the car, you know, it wouldn't be right there in one spot. It would kind of rotate around. So that's just why I like that tip. Okay, other part of what I've done, I have modified this wand. Originally, when you get it, it comes with this attached, with a quick release on the end. That way you can put your different tips in it, your foam cannon, whatever like that. But when you're out here with a car, and you got this big honking tip on here, and then you put that foam cannon on the end of it full of wash fluid, it gets real heavy on the end and it's super long. I mean, you can see it'd be real easy to knock into the car with it like that. So I got some adapters here so I could shorten this down. So I still put a quick connect here, but I took this piece off, and so it did take an adapter to get the quick release on there, but now it's nice and short. So now, when I hook my foam cannon on the end of it, instead of being way out here, it is right up here. And that makes it a whole lot more convenient. It's a whole lot more controllable. It's more balanced. Now, I will show you, they have the bottle on theirs so that you can put your fluid, your wash mix, whatever you're using right in here. I don't use this. I take it off. And then what I've done, if you see that little tip right there, I don't know how good that'll show up on camera, but there is a little greenish blue tip right there. I have different tips that I can adjust the ratio down with so that I don't have to pre-mix my wash fluids. And Griots Garage has developed this, and so all you got to do is figure out which fluid you're using, put it on the right tip, and then what I do is I don't have to dilute it down. I can just take off the top, drop this right down in the hole, and then it will actually screw right in to this connection. So there's no pre-mixing, there's no having to dilute my washer fluid down or anything like that. Screw straight on there, and then you have all your adjustments here. You got adjustment here for different fan widths, adjustment here for how much soap it uses, and of course, like I say, I've got that little tip down there that adjusts it also. And so now we're ready to foam up the car. Then we just let that set for a few minutes, and what that's going to do is that's going to lift up all the dirt and debris off the paint, and then when we rinse it, it's going to rinse probably 80–90% of the dirt on the car. If it's still dirty after that, we can spray it again, and we can actually take our rags or whatever, rub the car, get any of the dirt off if we need to. But a lot of times, like I say, if you keep your car clean, that is all you need. Now, obviously today's not ideal. The car's sitting in the sun and it's a black car, so we can't let it sit as long as we normally would, because you definitely don't want it to dry on there. Alright guys, you see we got it all nice and cleaned up. Yeah, I know there's some dust particles on it because the wind's blowing today and I got sawdust everywhere and it keeps blowing sawdust on it, but it does blow right back off. Just in case you don't know what this is a 2002 Neiman Marcus edition Ford Thunderbird. It is the first Thunderbirds to roll off the assembly line. They only made 200 of these. This one is number 70 of 200. According to the VIN number, the VIN. But anyways, what some things that make it different than a normal Thunderbird, other than just being only moving 200 of them. But the way you can tell a Neiman Marcus Thunderbird, one, they all have silver tops. Now yes, you could order a silver top on a black Thunderbird. You could do that. But this silver top is the only one from the factory with an etched Thunderbird in the porthole glass. I don't know how good that'll show up in the camera, but the Neiman Marcus bird is the only one that has that etched Thunderbird. Now, there are people that make stickers and stuff that you can stick in there and replicate that, but that is authentic. The other thing is the wheels. These wheels was only offered on the 2002 Neiman Marcus Thunderbirds and the 2003 James Bond edition Thunderbird. There was only 700 of those made. A couple other things. That's the chrome on the hood scoop. Again, there's aftermarket companies that make these so that you can put them on other Thunderbirds now, but this is the only one that came from the factory with the chrome on the hood scoop. For everything else, let's go inside. You'll notice in here that it does have the gray inserts in the seats. That is a Neiman Marcus thing. Now there are the other Thunderbirds you could get on the premium Thunderbirds. You could get color matched seats. You know, so if you had a yellow one, you could get black and yellow, red, different colors and all that. But the Thunderbird, the Neiman Marcus always has the silver inserts. And if you'll notice on the floor mats, it does have the Neiman Marcus logo on the floor mat. It also has the silver on the steering wheel and on the gear shifter. The last bit is the Neiman Marcus badge up on the console, or not on the console, on the dash there. Now on the other, each year they came out, these retro birds as they're called, came out between 2002 and 2005. They only made them those few years, and every year they had a limited edition model, I would call it. 2002 was the Neiman Marcus. 2003 was the James Bond edition. It was coral with a white top. It was actually used in a James Bond movie. What was it, Die Another Day? I think that's what it was. Had Halle Berry in it, whichever one that one was. Halle Berry. Then there was Pacific Coast Roadster in 2004, and then there was the Cashmere edition in 2005. Now, the 2003, 4, and 5 all have a plate inside the glove box that actually tells you what number it is of that edition. Unfortunately, the Neiman Marcus one, they did not do that with. I wish they had. So the only way you can tell them that is by the VIN. And you can look at the numbers, and I happen to know which number it started with and which number it ended with, and that's how you tell the 200 of them. But the Neiman Marcus Thunderbird you could not buy straight from the dealer. It came out in the 2000 Neiman Marcus edition Christmas catalog. Every year Neiman Marcus comes out with a car in the Christmas catalog, and they feature it, and you can only buy it through Neiman Marcus. Now, if you pay attention to your numbers, this is a 2002. So you had to buy this car Christmas of 2000, and then you had to wait almost 2 years to get this car. And so it makes a pretty special car. It actually sold out in 1 hour and 45 minutes when they opened up the orders from the catalog. And so it went really quick. Again, there's not many around. There's only 200 made. I wish I knew how many was still actually on the road. I know some of them, I have seen some totaled and wrecked over the years. And so I wish I knew how many was actually still on the road today, but I don't. If you know that, drop me in a comment or get in touch with me and let me know. I'd love to know that information. But anyways, that's what this car is. It's something we bought a few years ago as an investment. I know, a lot of people say cars are probably not a smart investment, but if you can find a rare enough car, and again, this one's not very old, so we did buy it for fun too. We wanted to be able to go out to some car shows and have some fun. And my dream car is actually a Shelby. But I got a better buy on this one than I could get it on Shelby at that time, so we decided to go with this one since it was kind of rare, and it's super fun, man. You take the top off and you can have a blast in this thing, and it is an eye catcher. We always get questions about it whenever we're out, and so that's what we're going to go do today. We're going to drop in local car clubs having a car show downtown. We're going to take the camera with us. Hopefully we can get some cool shots of some cool cars while we're down there, and we're just going to hang out and have some fun today. Just take a day off and take a break from things, but we did want to kind of clue you into what we was doing and kind of show you the car and show you some cool cars downtown. So let's get the top off. We'll take that off. I'll show you how we do that here in just a second. We got a little rack that we put it on. We'll leave the top here with us today because I'm 6'3". It's kind of hard for me to get in and out of this car with the top on, but take the top off, it's a breeze. So we're going to show you that, and then we're going to get cleaned up a little bit, and then we'll head down to the car show.
come and see. Take a look inside, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe. Cruising through the sky, yeah, we feeling alright. Take a lead, throw a little smile, jumping in the seat. We gon' be here for a while, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe. Cruising through the sky when I take you for a ride. Roll with me now, come hang around. Let's play pretend, go have a night on the town. Just lighten up, put on a smile. We live it up, just let me know if you're down, down. Hey, I'm jumping in, I drop the pin, I'm on the way. Might not get there right on time, I'm never late, no. At the party, I just came to show my face. Now it's time to hit the road and get away. Hey, over me, take you for a ride, hey, just come and see. Take a look inside, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe, cruising through the sky, yeah, we feeling alright. Take a lead, throw a little smile, jumping in the seat. We gon' be here for a while, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe, cruising through the sky when I take you for a ride. Hey, oh, hey, oh. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Yeah, oh yeah. Cruising through the sky when I take you for a ride. Ay, straight up, we gon' see you later. Turn this two-door coupe to an elevator. Fly, go ahead, wave to the haters. I ain't seen them in a while, they must be off the radar. Ay, jumping through the window with the bass high. Came across the country, now I'm stateside. Hit the city limits with the roof gone. It's the only way to live it, let me tell you for a ride. Take you for a ride, hey, just come and see. Take a look inside, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe. Cruising through the sky, yeah, we feeling alright. Take a lead, throw a little smile, jumping in the seat. We gon' be here for a while, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe. Cruising through the sky when I take you for a ride. Hey, oh, hey, oh. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Yeah, oh yeah. Cruising through the sky when I take you for a ride. Roll with me, take you for a ride, hey, just come and see. Take a look inside, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe. Cruising through the sky, yeah, we feeling alright. Take a lead, throw a little smile, jumping in the seat. We gon' be here for a while, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe. Cruising through the sky when I take you for a ride. Roll with me now, come hang around. Let's play pretend, go have a night on the town. Just lighten up, put on a smile. We live it up, just let me know if you're down, down. Hey, I'm jumping in, I drop the pin, I'm on the way. Might not get there right on time, I'm never late, no. At the party, I just came to show my face. Now it's time to hit the road and get away. Hey, over me, take you for a ride, hey, just come and see. Take a look inside, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe, cruising through the sky, yeah, we feeling alright. Take a lead, throw a little smile, jumping in the seat. We gon' be here for a while, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe, cruising through the sky when I take you for a ride. Hey, oh, hey, oh. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Yeah, oh yeah. Cruising through the sky when I take you for a ride. Ay, straight up, we gon' see you later. Turn this two-door coupe to an elevator. Fly, go ahead, wave to the haters. I ain't seen them in a while, they must be off the radar. Ay, jumping through the window with the bass high. Came across the country, now I'm stateside. Hit the city limits with the roof gone. It's the only way to live it, let me tell you for a ride. Take you for a ride, hey, just come and see. Take a look inside, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe. Cruising through the sky, yeah, we feeling alright. Take a lead, throw a little smile, jumping in the seat. We gon' be here for a while, yeah, it's all you need. This gon' be the vibe. Cruising through the sky when I take you for a ride. Hey, oh, hey, oh. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey.
And the biggest news of all is she is off the scooter.
On my 2 feet. Our grandson Cody always says that when he wants to go barefoot, he says he wants to wear his feet. So I'm very thankful to be wearing my feet.
Alright guys, that's basically our tour a little downtown. It was a little misorganized here, but I guess they wouldn't let them shut the street down for this because they already had another street shut down for another event. So people was kind of just parking where they could. So we kind of walked around, tried to get as many shots as we could of the cool cars. I hope you enjoyed it. And for any of you people that's been following our Barndo series, we're going to wrap that up next weekend with a big announcement. So if you've been following that, kind of want to know where we're at on that, make sure you tune in next week. We'll have that. And tune in, guys. You know, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. We did finally make it over 1,000 mark, but we'd like to build that some more.
Definitely.
We definitely got some cool things coming up in the future.